Hello YouTube, this is SimPilot. Welcome to my first ever video on YouTube and my first ever video with Microsoft Flight Simulator. So today we are taking a short flight from Seattle Tacoma International to Portland International. We are using live weather for our flight, as you see here. I'll turn off the live players, it clutters the view a lot, so let's just go back. And one thing I want to point here is I created the flight through SimBrief and it gave me a flight level of 210, which is 21,000 feet, but when I created it in Microsoft Flight Simulator it was giving me a 35,000 feet flight level. So when you go to this navlog page here, you can actually change it to whatever you get from SimBrief to have a better flight experience, so that the sim understands your flight level and what you are trying to do. So without further ado, let's jump into the aircraft and start programming our aircraft for our flight. Alright, we are ready to get into the aircraft. I am using a modest PC. My hardware is not the high-end one for sure, and my graphic settings are high-end settings, not ultra, and hopefully this will provide you a better or at least good enough viewing experience. So let's just get into the aircraft. Our aircraft is at a cold and dark state, and I like to do it close to the real life. I have my track AR, so it's paused right now, but I will be turning it on as we start doing it, but it makes it much more easier to do it this way while we are in the flight menu. So let's get some power to the aircraft, turn on the batteries, and then from here now we can contact ATC.
Seattle clearance delivery, SkyWest 3319er IFR to Portland, ready to copy.
AI autopilot started to ask for the clearance already because I turned it on and
SkyWest
forgot to turn it off.
3319er is cleared to Papa Oscar Romeo Tango Lima Alpha November Delta India November Tango Lima Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 16 left climb and maintain 7,000 feet.
Okay, we are cleared to 7,000.
120.1 squawk 1451.
1451, and then turn it to, okay, the transponder is there. Let's go back, acknowledge, we are cleared to 7,000 feet.
SkyWest 3319er cleared to Papa Oscar Romeo Tango Lima Alpha November Delta India November Tango Lima Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 16 left climb and maintain 7,000 feet.
Let's go
Departure
down to
on 120.1 squawk 1451.
MCDU. You can get out of the way and check what we have
SkyWest
here.
3319er, read back correct. Contact ground on 126.875.
Okay, the flight plan looks okay, everything is in there. We are going to mess with the performance page when the time comes, but for now we are going to fix the transition altitude for United States, which is 18,000 feet, and then we will come back to this later. So now let's ask for power supply.
Ground SkyWest 3319er, could you please send a ground power unit?
See the power unit backing up to the airplane.
SkyWest 3319er, ground power unit is on the road.
I am having some stutters here. That's probably because I'm trying to record and do the simulation on the same computer. I'm sorry about that right off the bat. Okay, the ground power is connected. Let's go ahead and turn on our external power. Okay, so now we are going to tune to ADIS and then listen to the ADIS information. in the meantime, actually,
Seattle Airport information.
yeah, let's just listen to ATIS for now.
Wind 186 at 6. Visibility tree.
And we will enter the QNH information.
At 1,000 feet, few clouds at 4,000.
They still haven't implemented the QNH or hectopascals.
2.10.
It's still taking the inches mercury. Hopefully in the future they will correct this. Okay, 29081 is our QNH for today, which is already set. We are done with this. Go back to ground services. To ground, request jetway connection. Let's board the passengers as we get ready
Ground
to
SkyWest 3319er, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
prepare the aircraft. Okay, let's see here. So the jetway is coming around. It is connecting. We go a little bit up and check. Yes. Okay, we have the jetway connection. Now let's go back inside. Clear the master warning. Alright, so now we can turn on the fuel pumps and then we will be ready to fire up the APU. Turn on the nav lights and then beacon so that we are not requesting pushback. Okay, that's another aircraft. I thought the AI co-pilot was requesting pushback. So as soon as the APU is available, we are going to request the power supply end and disconnect the external power. The APU is spooling up. Let's go outside and see. Yes, it's spooling. This is the exhaust, and we started to see the heat flow coming out from the exhaust of the APU. Shortly it should be ready. Let's check. Yes, APU is available, so let's disconnect the ground power.
Ground SkyWest 3319er,
And I think now we can just disconnect the jetway and get ready for our departure. So let's go back to the MCDU. We are done with the ATC for now. So we are doing flaps 1 today, and the other side of this is not simulated at the moment, so I'm just going to guess it. Like that. Let's see if we need to. Okay, let's go back to clearance. And okay, so flaps 1 up 0.2. Flex temp is going to be 67. I have a calculator that I'm using for flex temps, and I will post the link at the description so that you can check it out if you want to. Okay, the flaps are set. Oh, the other thing we need to do, I almost forgot, is let's go back to init. Cost index is going to be 13 for today's flight, and then next page, zero fuel with center of gravity. I took this from the flight planning page, and it is 29. So let's just do this 50.2/29.25. Okay, so that's there. Block fuel. If we check the fuel on board, it's 10.63. It's 10.6, so that's correct. Now we are pretty much ready for pushback and engine start. So let's see. Let's turn on the wing light. Let's turn on the strobe, so that will strobe to auto. Sorry, that will tell the ground crew that we are getting ready to start the engines. So let's ask for our taxi clearance first, and then we will push back.
Ground SkyWest 3319er with India ready to taxi IFR.
I don't know if it's the internet connection. Sometimes the communication is delaying a little bit.
Left via taxiway Bravo Charlie.
Okay,
Contact tower on 120.905 when ready.
Acknowledge the clearance, and we will take a look at 16 left here in a second.
Taxi to and hold short runway 16 left using taxiway Bravo Charlie SkyWest 3319er.
So 16 left, I believe, is going to be this one right here. So we are going to push back to the right and then go all the way down there and then enter the runway. Okay, so we are done with the ATC for now. The map can let's just close it, we'll open it later. Now, ground services. Let's disconnect the jetway.
Ground SkyWest 3319er, could you please disconnect the jetway from the aircraft?
As the jetway should... Okay, it is. Now let's just request pushback.
Ground SkyWest 3319er requesting pushback.
I like to do it from outside. Let's release the parking brake. I'm still not used to this.
SkyWest 3319er pushback request accepted.
So we'll see. And I kept the taxi ribbon on. For some reason I should have turned it off, but it's okay. So we will back a little bit, and then we are going to ask them to push us to the right, and then we will do Shift P, which will end the pushback. It takes some practice to get used to this. So let's see. Looks like our parking brake is still set. Yes, it is. Okay. Now we are going. I think it is time to push us to the right. I'll apply some toe brakes to slow it down.
Ground SkyWest 3319er requesting pushback to steer the aircraft to the right.
Okay.
SkyWest 3319er, your request has been transmitted to the
When our nose is
operator.
heading that way, we are going to stop the pushback. And it is probably good to ask for it now.
Ground SkyWest 3319er requesting the end of pushback.
Set the parking brake. Just about
SkyWest
at right time.
3319er request to end
Let's go back
pushback
into the
received.
cockpit. Alright, so now, because I was busy with the pushback, I didn't start the engines. This is what we are going to do now. With the Neo, you start the left engine first to have some hydraulics, and then right engine next. So let's watch the... Oh, I didn't turn on the APU bleed, that's why it's not doing anything. Let's turn on the bleed. Now we should see the M2 rising, and then the engine started to spool. If we get close, hopefully if I can position the camera fast enough, which I'm not good at, I'm still getting used to this. We'll see the engine spooling. Yes, it is. We will wait for this to reach 59-ish. At 59 and 2, we will fire up the second engine. So we are done with the ATC now, and from now on, I like to hand it off to the AI co-pilot. When we start the other engine, I will ask the AI co-pilot to take care of the communications for us. So, flight directors can come on, and looks like we have a good engine start, so let's go down there and start the second engine. That's the classic Airbus hydraulic sound. I love to hear this, to be honest with you. So let's see if my Trek AR cooperates with me. So I turned it on to have some sort of visibility while we are taxiing. We will wait until the N1 for the second engine reaches 59%, and we will then turn off the ignition starter. to normal, and it's almost there. It's 54 if I'm seeing it correctly. Oh, 40. Okay, so now it's at 50. So as I said, this channel, I started this channel to, you know, meet with new people. So if you are enjoying the content, please drop a comment down below and I'll try to respond all the comments. Okay, armed spoilers, flaps to takeoff position, and then let's just get some lights. Runway turn off lights can come on. Nose light can come on to taxi, and then we are pretty much ready for taxi to the runway. So for now, I'm not gonna worry about having the taxi ribbon there, the display. Let's just give it some power. Okay, looks like we are moving. I felt some strange things about my rudder pedals. Hopefully, yes, they are. They are working, I was about to say, but they look like they are working. So my controller setup while we are taxiing, let me just talk about that a little bit. I am using a Thrustmaster T16000. Oh, what are you doing, buddy? Oh, this AI traffic around the airport. I don't know, they are going to improve this a little bit more, but it is sometimes a little off. Oh, my controller.
A320neo, hold position, caution, other traffic.
Thrustmaster T16000.
Skywest 331niner, continue taxi.
Controller, and then this hold position warnings from the ATC, they don't really make sense at the moment because they ask you to like hold position and then nothing happens. You don't see anything passing by or whatnot. And Thrustmaster rudder pedals, I keep skipping the topic. T16000 is my joystick, and then I have Thrustmaster rudder pedals, and I like them a lot. They are great, they do the job, but looks like I definitely need a throttle quadrant. It is hard to manage the throttle, which is on the joystick itself, and I'm trying to, you know, fly the aircraft with my left hand like a real Airbus, and I have to reach out to that throttle to adjust it, and it is sometimes hard to do so. Okay, so we are on our way to the runway. Maybe we can just speed up a little bit, and I will bring you guys back while we are holding short. Okay, we are closing to the holding short point of the runway. So hopefully the AI co-pilot should ask the tower for takeoff clearance. Let's slow down a little bit, cut the power, apply some brakes, because I don't want to turn while I'm fast like this. And then we will do a final check to see if our takeoff configuration is okay, and then we will depart shortly. So let's line up here. Yes, now. So the AI co-pilot should ask for it. Let's just check a couple things here. Landing lights are on. Coming on. Okay, landing lights are on. Nose light to... This is happening. Weird, but happening with track AR. It's just throwing it off. Strobe can come on. Wing, and that looks good over there. Spoilers are armed. Let's set the parking brake for a second. Flaps are set. Everything looks good. Alright, we are ready to continue and line up to the runway, but I haven't heard the co-pilot asking for anything. Let's just turn the tower and we will ask for it. double check. Yeah.
Seattle Tower Skywest 3319er at runway 16 left, ready for takeoff IFR to Papa Oscar Romeo Tango Lima Alpha November Delta India November Tango Lima.
Oh my gosh. It's Portland International, you are just spelling it.
Skywest 3319er cleared for takeoff runway 16
We are cleared for takeoff. Let's line up. Apply some power.
Cleared for takeoff runway 16 left, Skywest 3319er.
And we will check the V speeds because I haven't looked at them. I think it was 132 or something, but let's just double check and make sure the V speeds are okay. I hope this is not going to be a bad lineup. I don't like to... Yes, okay, so we can stop here. I am going to check the V speeds down there. Let's see, performance, okay, 131 is the V rotate. Alright, so let's go back. Apply power. Make sure engines are stable, they are. Keep going, release the brakes. Takeoff thrust is set. And we are on the way. So hopefully, after takeoff, it's a straight takeoff, so it shouldn't be too hard to follow it and hand fly the aircraft a little bit. We are getting close to our rotate. Oops. Okay, rotate. Rotate up to 15 degrees. Positive climb. Gear is coming up. Okay. We are on the way. Let's follow the runway heading for a while, and when we are above 1,000 feet, we will turn on and engage the autopilot.
Skywest 3319er, contact Seattle departure on 120.1.
Fall back to thrust, climb thrust, and then turn on the autopilot.
120.1 for Skywest 3319er.
Okay, the AI copilot is taking care of it. Hopefully, we don't.
Seattle departure, Skywest 3319er is climbing through 2,800 feet for 7,000 feet.
But we'll see how it goes. Okay,
Skywest 3319er, Seattle departure continue as planned. Altimeter 29.84.
Okay. And I'm gonna pause the track IR, it's giving me some problems here.
Skywest 3319er, your transponder appears inoperative or malfunctioning. Reset squawk 1451.
Okay, it's not inoperative. It wasn't turned on, so it should be good now. Let's just throw some weather radar and traffic information onto the screen and turn on the terrain. Oh my gosh, it's okay. 1451. Yes, the transponder is fine. I am not sure what's happening there. 1451. Hopefully it will pick it up. Hopefully. Let's just go and take a look at outside. I still need to get used to this.
Skywest 3319er, climb and maintain 15,000 feet.
Okay, we are cleared for 15,000 now. Let's set it up.
Climb and maintain 15,000 feet, Skywest 3319er.
Altitude, and hopefully the aircraft will climb. We are getting close to 10,000.
Skywest 3319er, contact Seattle Center on 128.5.
We can now slowly go ahead and start turning off some lighting. Turn the runway
128.5, Skywest 3319er.
This can go off, and then we can retract the landing lights.
Seattle Center, Skywest 3319er is climbing through 9,200 feet for 15,000 feet.
Beautiful. All these clouds. Every time I just load into this game,
Skywest 3319er, Seattle Center, continue to Sierra Echo Alpha as planned. Altimeter 29.84.
altimeter change to decimal 84. Done. And at 18,000 we are going to go to the standard altimeter setting. But we still have some time until that. Look at the clouds. And the scenery is beautiful. As I said, I have an i5 9600K. I'll put my hardware information to the description field. And a GTX1070ti, if I can speak, is my video card. And I can, I believe, show you my frame rates. 36-37 frames and 80% GPU load. And this is high-end settings. And it is good to see that all the CPU cores are being utilized by the sim, which wasn't happening with X-Plane. And the scenery still looks beautiful, even if I'm at high-end settings. And the OBS is taking away some frames too. So when I'm not recording, I crank some of the settings up to have a better visual experience. But for the sake of the video, I will keep it at this. What's happening? The aircraft is like slowing down. Crazy. There's something wrong with the VNAV. It slows down to speed up, and then that's just... Okay, hopefully. Did we bring the flaps in? No, we didn't. That was the problem. Okay. It wasn't passing flaps up.
Contact Seattle departure on 120.1.
Start climbing. Sorry about that. I distracted myself with speaking too much and forgot the flaps. Bad pilot there. Sorry about that. But hopefully we will get there.
Seattle departure, SkyWest 3319er is at 12,200 feet, climbing 15,000 feet.
We are almost above the cloud layer, shortly after, hopefully.
SkyWest 3319er, Seattle departure.
This is why you see that jitter over there. That's because of my settings. I dropped the shadows.
SkyWest 3319er, contact Seattle Center on 126.6.
To do the recording and the simulation at the same time. So I
126.6 for SkyWest 3319er.
At the cruising altitude. So see you then. Alright, we are at our cruising altitude and we have a little bit of icing problem. I turned the anti-ice. Hopefully this will go away, but I don't know what's going on. Is it a texture or something? We will check that later to see if the ice is still there or not after some time. And look at those clouds. This simulator is beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. Alright, let's just take a look at from this side. I'm still getting used to this drone camera. They say if you hook up an Xbox controller, it's easier to use the drone camera. I'm still trying to do it with the keyboard, and that's why you are seeing these jumping moves around, so sorry about that. Let's jump back into the cabin.
SkyWest 3319er, descend and maintain 9,000 feet.
Okay, so now we are entering our descent mode and clear down to 9,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 9,000 feet, SkyWest 3319er.
Alright, and then we will start programming our approach here in a second. So let's go to the next page. Descent is there. So to QNH at Portland is 1011. And the temperature is, let's just check it from Sim Toolkit. Portland, temperature is 22 degrees Celsius. So let's plug it in.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet, SkyWest 3460.
Then the wind information is 178 8 knots. The wind is 170 at 8 knots. Just plug that in there. Decision height, I believe, was 250. And we are set for descent. So the landing speed is 145. keep that in mind. And we'll continue our cruise and descent to Portland International. So we will poke through the clouds shortly, and we are getting below 18,000 feet, so we should switch back to the normal altimeter. And at Portland it is 29er decimal 86. Let's see, okay, it's not speaking to us. We are descending to 9,000. Okay, there was another SkyWest, which is not us.
Descend and maintain 3,800 feet, execute 563.
Okay, we are going down. Let's just keep descending, and I'll give this track AR another shot to see and look around the cabin. Oh, yeah, the clouds, they don't look great at the moment. It's because of my graphics settings. As I said, I turned coupled down to have enough horsepower for the OBS to record the video, and that is part of the reason. So when I'm not recording, they actually look better than
Alaska
this.
1459er, descend and maintain 4,100 feet.
We are getting close. So, alright. Let's... When we go around and do this final turn, we will activate the approach mode and start dropping flaps and the gear down. And then from there, hopefully, we will have a clean landing if I don't mess it up during landing. I thought I turned off the AI or live traffic and the players, but looks like there's a lot of activity going around CA at Portland, and that's why we are hearing this much communication through ATC. It feels a little bit busy. Hopefully we don't end up having an airplane on short final at the runway, and then the ATC will call for go around, but I'm gonna ignore it if that happens and try to land the airplane. No, that's not the right thing to do, but hey, it's a game, right? So yes, we are passing through the cloud layers, and the ice is still there, and I have turned on the anti-ice. If you look right there, it's turned on, but for some reason, and I am having some stutters here. The body or the airframe looks like there is a lot of ice. I don't know. Maybe it would be cool if they bring some de-icing for the ground services in the future. It might be a great addition to the simulator, which is already a beautiful one. Alright, our lights can come on. I think we are below 10. No, we are not below, but we are almost, so we can turn on the landing lights. Yeah, takeoff. Runway turn off light, I will leave it until the short final. Or actually until after landing, because yeah, we have enough lighting. I hope the sim doesn't crash. It's starting to stutter. I don't know if it's loading the scenery around Portland and trying to navigate us through the clouds at the same time. But the clouds impact the frame rate quite a bit. Let's check what it is right now. So we are getting 6-7 frames, which is not good for a simulator. And hopefully it will get better, if not, okay.
Portland approach SkyWest 3319er is at 9,700 feet, descending 9,000 feet.
For some reason. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. Let's see if I missed any
SkyWest
ATC.
3319er Portland approach, continue to crater as planned.
Okay.
Altimeter 29er, decimal 89er.
Decimal 89er. In this case, I believe we need to correct our approach page with the new QNH, which is 1012. Let me get out of the way. Whoops. 1012. 2. Okay. Alright. We are looking good. except the stutters are still happening. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to record a clean video, but looks like at the moment that's not happening. We should clear the clouds shortly. Did they clear us too? No, we are still at 9,000. We have to hold this altitude until we get further instructions from the ATC. I might turn on the track AR during landing. It gives me enough, and I don't know what I said for my thrust reversers. I don't exactly remember what was it, but we will see. I might as well go in and quickly check it, but we will keep descending, and I will bring you guys back when we are at the final. Welcome back. So my computer crashed and I had to restart the sim and catch up to this point of the flight, and something happened. So I'm now flying with the heading select mode until the final approach fix, and then from there I will initiate the approach mode and activate it, and then start extending the flaps and dropping the landing gear. Luckily the weather got better, so hopefully this will be a better visual experience than it was with the other one. So we are getting close, and I'm trying to aim for the scapo fix, which is our final approach fix, and trying to turn there to activate the approach mode. We are getting close. I don't know how good of a landing this will be, but we will see. We will see. Luckily, not seeing any more stutters. I think it was the clouds what's causing it in first place, so it is better performance wise. So we are directly going to scapo right now, and shortly I will turn heading, what's that heading, like 100-ish, and then activate the approach. Let's put on the glide slope indicators on the display, and we are going to start turning shortly right now. Turn heading 100. Actually, that's not 100. Looks like 104-ish, but that should be good enough to activate the approach mode for our ILS approach to runway. Okay, we are good now. Let's try to see if this will capture the localizer. Looks like it is doing something. And we are going to, as soon as we turn and capture the localizer, it will show up here. We will start extending the flaps. Are we turning? Huh. We should turn right now, but it is not doing it. Okay, we are now. Hopefully we will see the diamond for the localizer, and the localizer should display over here at the top. Sometimes the simulator does weird things. I will drop the altitude to 2000. I still don't see the localizer. Let's just click that. and click that one more time. I'm not seeing anything. The runway is in sight. And let's try this. Okay. Maybe now we should start seeing. I saw the runway for a second. Let's see. Not now. Looks like we are on track, but I'm not sure why we are not seeing the glide slope and the localizer over here. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, the runway is right ahead of us. Right there. We are having a little bit stutter at the moment. But yeah, we'll see if it catches the localizer and starts to bring us down. Let's start extending the flaps, and then I will drop the landing gear, because we are now initiating the landing sequence.
Skywest 3319er, you are 12 miles northwest of Portland. Contact Portland Tower on 118.7 when inbound on the approach.
So the autopilot is still taking care of the communications, not the autopilot, the AI co-pilot. Because it gets really busy during landing, and I don't want to deal with the communications. Okay. Landing flaps set. Let's arm the spoilers. And then we will select medium brakes. The runway is long enough to do that, hopefully. We are coming in, but I'm not still seeing the localizer here. So I don't know what's wrong with the airplane at the moment. But let's see. I keep playing with it quite a bit, and then there is a big chance that I will mess it up. What's going on? I still don't see anything around glide slope or the localizer. Trying to see the puppy lights down there. Oh yeah, we are still too high. This is probably not going to... Let's see. We are descending, so that's a good sign. We see the heading, but we still don't see the localizer captured here. We are just following some weird stuff, I guess. We'll see how it goes. Still not seeing the lights. Yeah, no localizer. We'll try to land like this, I guess, and then hope for the best. We are coming in nicely, so in this case I'm gonna wait a little bit more longer to disengage the autopilot, because I don't want to mess up the landing, and I still don't know if I can work the thrust reversers with the button I assigned. Sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't. We will see how it goes. I have to set the reverse thrust after we are on the runway. See, my internet speed is somehow messed up at the moment. I'm not happy with my current provider and looking for alternatives to move to a different one. But as you guys see, we haven't captured any sort of anything on the display here. I don't know if this is a bug or something. I see the puppy lights now, 2 white and 2 red, but there is no sign on the PFD. So let's disconnect the autopilot and try to manage it ourselves. We are coming. Okay, I'm not going around, I'm sorry. I'm gonna land this. It's going to be a hard land, but we managed it. So let's see if I can manage the thrust reversers. Yes, I can. That's good. That plane was the reason for go around. I hope you don't crash into it. Okay, we passed through it. That's funny. Let's apply some brakes and try to take this. I don't hear your last transmission, I'm sorry. I landed. I'm gonna acknowledge it anyway. But I am on the ground now, I'm not going around, sorry. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to contact the ground and ask for taxi the gates. Okay, so this is not gonna do it. Oh, okay, it does. It was an interesting ATC communication. Let's turn off the landing lights. Okay. Put this to taxi. That can stay on. Let's fire up the APU. Alright. Let's reset the wheel. Okay, let's get going. And I will start. Let's bring the flaps in. Disarm the spoilers. Okay. It wasn't the best landing. I don't know what was wrong with the localizer, but I think this happens when you have to restart the flight and try to record the final phase of the flight. It was, yeah, a little bit interesting. But we are on the ground now, so that's, I think, what matters, right? As I said, guys, this is my first video on YouTube. I know it's not the best one. It is a little bit unprofessional, I would say. I'm not a professional YouTuber or anything like that by any stretch of imagination, but I am just trying to do my thing and try to connect with new people. So drop me a comment if you like the content. I try to make my videos better and better each time I record them, so hopefully in time you will see better videos coming from me. I will try to post at least one video a week. You know, I'm a regular guy who has a day job from 8 to 5 and a family, a wife and 2 kids, so it's sometimes hard to spare some time to get in front of the computer and fire up the flight sim. And even recording for YouTube is a task of its own. It's not easy, and I appreciate those guys who does YouTube videos. They deserve everything, and they have all my respect, to be honest with you. It's not easy, and I'm just learning it in first place by just doing it myself. It takes a lot of courage, and it's, I mean, being in front of public is not easy, I would say. Okay, let's just get back to our parking position. I don't know why it gave us this weird route, but look at this. Like we are going all the way back to there, to probably to the jetway gates. We just probably missed it during landing and took the wrong exit from the runway. But okay, we will finally get there. Let's turn off the flight director, auto throttle. We don't need any of those anymore. The flaps are in. APU should be on by now. Let's check it quickly. Yes, it is. time to turn. Oh my god, what's going on? It's going to crash again. I'm afraid. We missed the taxi line quite a bit. So yeah, when you have a computer that's sort of mediocre, this is what you get, I guess. Fair enough. And Microsoft Flight Simulator is quite new, so it's quite usual. Hopefully they will improve some of these things in time. But yeah, I will put my computer specs to the video description, and I will put a link to the liveries I downloaded. Actually, I will put the link to the video by Squirrel because he gets all the credit for those liveries. If you want to go and watch his video and download them for yourself, the link will be in the description. So let's get this final stage of the flight completed. Let's just park ourselves to the gate and then we will call it a day. It's almost there. Hopefully we don't have any problems with the marshal. I'll try to keep our speed low, but as I said, my joystick is a Thrustmaster T16000 and the throttle control is on the joystick itself, and it's not the most responsive in that regard. So I'm trying to do my best to stay on the taxiway and manage the throttle so that we don't run into the marshal if there is one, which I don't see there is one. So we will do it ourselves and park it here. Okay, looks like we are there. Let's set the parking brake, cut the throttle, and then we can turn off the engines. And hopefully that's it, guys. We managed it. We are here at Portland International. As I said, next one will hopefully be better. Look at that parking. I just messed it up, but that's okay. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.